Welcome to UK Learnings. After watch this video, please subscribe to our channel to give us your support. And don't forget to click the bell icon to get upcoming videos. Good luck for your exam.
The line "All the world's a stage" belongs to which of the following plays or poems written by William Shakespeare? Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, As You Like It, Sonnet 18. The correct answer is As You Like It. All the world's a stage are lines from William Shakespeare's play As You Like It. When did British combat troops leave Iraq? In 2004, in 2005, in 2006, in 2009. The correct answer is in 2009. British combat troops left Iraq in 2009. When did the Black Death come to England? In 1248, in 1348, in 1358, in 1414. The correct answer is in 1348. In 1348, a disease, probably a form of plague, came to Britain. This was known as the Black Death. When did English settlers begin to colonize the eastern coast of America? In James I's time, in Henry VII's time, in Henry VIII's time, in Elizabeth I's time. The correct answer is in Elizabeth I's time. In Elizabeth I's time, English settlers first began to colonize the eastern coast of America. Who became Prime Minister in the UK in May 1940? Margaret Thatcher, Winston Churchill, Clement Attlee, Harold Macmillan. The correct answer is Winston Churchill. Churchill was the son of a politician and, before becoming a Conservative MP in 1900, was a soldier and journalist. In May 1940 he became Prime Minister. Which battle signified the end of the Wars of the Roses? The Battle of Agincourt, the Battle of Bosworth Field, the Battle of Bannockburn, the Battle of Marston Moor. The correct answer is the Battle of Bosworth Field. The Wars of the Roses ended with the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. When did the First World War start? 1912, 1914, 1942, 1940. The correct answer is 1914. On the 28th of June 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria was assassinated. This set off a chain of events leading to the First World War. 1914-18. How old was Queen Victoria when she became queen in 1837? A week old, 4 years old, 20 years old, 18 years old. The correct answer is 18 years old. In 1837, Queen Victoria became Queen of the UK at the age of 18. Who was the first woman to become Prime Minister in the UK? J.K. Rowling, Margaret Thatcher, Jane Austen, Hillary Clinton. The correct answer is Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first woman Prime Minister, led the Conservative government from 1979 to 1990. What two houses were confronted during the Wars of the Roses? The House of Lancaster, the House of Leicester, the House of Canterbury, the House of York. The correct answer are the House of Lancaster and the House of York. The Wars of the Roses were fought between the supporters of two families, the House of Lancaster and the House of York. When did Emmeline Pankhurst die? 1928, 1935, 1936, 1930. The correct answer is 1928. Emmeline Pankhurst died in 1928. Shortly before Emmeline's death, women were given the right to vote at the age of 21, the same as men. What did the Chartists campaign for? The right to vote for women over 30 years old. The right to vote for the working classes and other people without property. The right to vote for women and men over 30 years old. The right to vote for every citizen. The correct answer is the right to vote for the working classes and other people without property. The Chartists demanded the vote for the working classes and other people without property.
Your support will encourage us to make more videos. Please don't forget to subscribe.
In the 15th century, Henry Tudor, the leader of the House of Lancaster, became King Henry VIII, King Richard I, King Richard III, King Henry VII. The correct answer is King Henry VII. In 1485, Henry Tudor, the leader of the House of Lancaster, became King Henry VII after defeating King Richard III of the House of York at the Battle of Bosworth Field, which was the first major railway built in Britain. High-Speed 1, West Coast Main Line, Great Western Railway, East London Line. The correct answer is Great Western Railway. The Great Western Railway, which was the first major railway built in Britain. Which flag has a diagonal white cross on a blue ground? The Cross of St. Andrew, patron saint of Scotland. The Cross of St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland. The Cross of St. George, patron saint of England. The Cross of St. David, patron saint of Wales. The correct answer is the Cross of St. Andrew, patron saint of Scotland. The Cross of St. Andrew, patron saint of Scotland, is a diagonal white cross on a blue ground. The decade of the 1960s was a period of significant social change, when there was growth in British fashion, cinema and popular music. True, false. The correct answer is true. The decade of the 1960s was a period of significant social change. It was known as the swinging 60s. There was growth in British fashion, cinema and popular music. Who introduced the Statute of Rhuddlan by which Wales annexed to the Crown of England in 1284? King Edward I of England, Robert the Bruce, King Henry V, William III of England. The correct answer is King Edward I of England. In 1284, King Edward I of England introduced the Statute of Rhuddlan, which annexed Wales to the Crown of England. Where was Margaret Thatcher born? Buckinghamshire, Cheshire, Lincolnshire, Bedfordshire. The correct answer is Lincolnshire. Margaret Thatcher was the daughter of a grocer from Grantham in Lincolnshire. Who was the leader of the English Republic? King Richard III, Oliver Cromwell, Charles II, Charles I. The correct answer is Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell was the leader of the English Republic. Who was in charge of the British fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar? Admiral Nelson, Oliver Cromwell, the Duke of Wellington, Henry VIII. The correct answer is Admiral Nelson. Admiral Nelson was in charge of the British fleet at Trafalgar and was killed in the battle. Which two families started a civil war to decide who should be King of England in 1455? The House of Lancaster, the House of Kent, the House of York, the House of Newcastle. The correct answer are the House of Lancaster and the House of York. In 1455, a civil war was begun to decide who should be King of England. It was fought between the supporters of two families, the House of Lancaster and the House of York. During the times of Elizabeth I, English settlers began to colonize Indonesia, the eastern coast of America, the western coast of Australia, the Pacific Islands. The correct answer is the eastern coast of America. In Elizabeth I's time, English settlers first began to colonize the eastern coast of America. When did Britain and France develop the world's only supersonic commercial airliner known as the Concorde? 1970s, 1950s, 1980s, 1960s. The correct answer is 1960s. The 1960s was also a time of technological progress. Britain and France developed the world's only supersonic commercial airliner, Concorde.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe UK Learning's YouTube channel. Share with your friends and family. Don't forget to click the bell icon to get more videos. Your support will encourage us to make more videos. We wish you all the best for your exam.